high quality H2O. Oh, hey, what's going on, people? What's going on, people, man? As y'all already know, this is Wednesday night, and you already know when Wednesday night comes, y'all see the fist? That means the heavy hitters is coming into the building. I am your host, K Styles, 6-man K Styles, aka the Shogun, is in the building. To my stage left, as you already know, it is Senator Palpatine, Mad Mike Sports.
Oh, yeah.
And we have the calm before the storm. The minister is with us, as y'all already know him as Jew Talk Sports. We call him the point guard because he's the star of the damn show tonight. Because we got some good things coming for y'all here. So,
oh yeah.
Man, fellas, how we doing this evening, man? How y'all doing this evening, man?
Gravy, baby.
Yeah, doing good.
All
it's
right.
Wednesday, so we halfway there.
I want to clear some up. All right, so just in case y'all don't know, straight heat is exactly that. Okay, so I want to clear it up because a lot of people don't know what straight heat is. That's my new concept for Mad Mike Rant. So you're gonna get all type of disrespectful talk. You can get all type of straight, honest opinion. So just in case y'all trying to figure out what the heck that was earlier today, that's the second episode of Straight Heat. All right, so Straight Heat with your boy Mad Mike. That's the new concept. It's gonna be extremely disrespectful. So I want you guys to tell your kids that anything that I say will be very disrespectful. And please don't let them watch it. Don't let them watch Straight Heat. Okay, just put them to bed, put them to sleep. It's gonna be incredibly disrespectful. I just want to clear that up. All right, when you come up the heavy hitters, you get the professional mic. But I'm not trying to be respectful when talking about Straight Heat. All right, new concept, baby.
AKA, he said that.
Whoa. See this right here? Oh, it's new. Oh, it's a new concept. I really don't care anymore. Okay, I don't care. So I just wanted to say that. This is a new concept. Y'all ain't seen everything. Y'all saw a little glimpse of it today, but y'all ain't seen it all.
So the better phrase to use in this situation is unhinged. Let's say that.
Unhinged, unleashed. Okay, you never know what you're gonna get out of that show. All right.
Oh Lord, have mercy.
He
See, unleashed. Look, I'm free to do whatever. Whenever.
What'd you say, Jew?
I said, he said, hide your kids, hide your wife.
Yeah, she might get it too. She can get it. And I'm not talking about no sexual way. I'm talking about in the debating way, okay? That's what I'm talking about. That's all I got to say. So I just wanted to clear that up, all right? I'm not going to do all the cursing and talking about your mamas on the heavy hitters. I can promise y'all that.
Nah. Man, it's just been it's been one interesting week, man, because
I know I'm talking. I'm gonna just say this. I gotta say this, man. Because Mr. Jeffrey Red Jr., man, I gotta say this. Jew had no clue that I was gonna say this. He said something to me, man, in his sermon this past Sunday. And it really spoke to me. And it made me realize one thing. Gotta watch what you say. Really have to watch what you say. Okay? I want y'all to know. Watch what you say. Do not put yourself down. I just wanted to say that. You believe that you're right. You believe in what you believe in. Stay with it. Don't talk yourself down. I just want to say that.
well, yeah. In the sport of that, there's a quote I do want to start this show off with. If y'all don't mind me starting off with.
Anytime he smirks, it's about to be. Anytime you started with that smirk, it's over.
Let me set this up. No, this is gonna be on some real gangster stuff right here. This ain't on no foolishness. All right, so I was watching War of the Three Kingdoms right here on YouTube, as y'all already know. It's one of the things, my go-tos. And there was a quote that this man said. If nobody know who Southside is, he said a quote was, "I'd rather portray the world than let the world portray me." AKA, I'd rather be the villain than be the fool. Which means it's going to go right into what this unhinged ass dude going to be talking about. Man, what the hell you want?
I got asked to come on. What's up, Mike? What's up, Jew? What's up, K Styles?
Well, y'all about to get a real
I asked her to come on. It's okay.
Hey, look, is that a problem? Is that a problem?
Look. Don't start that now. Don't start that now. But y'all finna actually get a treat because this is the original AFN y'all about to get tonight. The original 4.
That's true. That is
true. The original 4.
Yep. Real originators, huh?
The real
originators.
What's going on, Maggie? What's going on with you, mama?
Nothing much. Working hard and just, trying to get this event planned and everything else. Speaking of events, got to remind you guys about the Red and Black event, July 13th. What's up, Reggie? What's up, Dre? What's up, Ray? What's going on with y'all? I'm going to put the link in the chat. Make sure you grab your tickets. I'll probably do a Facebook evite as well. So y'all can just we can get a number of who coming, even if you can't get your tickets right now. We need a head count, people. So some people are already buying their hotel rooms and rental cars. You better get there and be there for real. As well as tomorrow night is the Ladybirds of AFN. We'll be on at 8 p.m. right before 6-man convo. Y'all watch that. We definitely got to talk about that kickoff change and things like that. It's just some interesting things going on in the NFL right about now. So got to hear what the ladies got to say. But what's going on with y'all? What it do, Southside? Harvey?
I mean, if y'all trying to shoot y'all shot at Mag, y'all better throw some dollars in that super chat.
I'm trying to say, throw the what them dollars at? What them dollars at?
Hush there. Lord, he in the background crumb.
Hey, tell my boy I said
Dale.
I'm gonna kick him out.
Dale said he wants to
Dale part. They'll always hire.
All right, so let's go ahead and get right into this roll call. I mean, Magadan already kicked it off a little bit, but let's go ahead and get some more people. Definitely D Coleman, crazy ass. Mucho in the building. Like you said, Auntie Pam is in the building. We got the therapist, Ray Fitty, Harvey Freeman, Brian Peoples. Got Joseph Thornton. That's a name I haven't seen him in a while. We got Sherman Wood, Terry Lloyd, Andrew G. We got Miss Christie in the building. Definitely make sure y'all put some flowers in for the ladies. Hey, just do it for her, because like you said, what we have been learning for like the last couple years is these female Falcon fans got more balls than most of the male Falcon fans. I just learned this. I don't know why. I've just learned this, but we're not gonna go down that rabbit hole. This is the heavy hitters. This is not time for mess. Let's see. How y'all want to kick this thing off tonight, man? Well, since Maggie got the impromptu come in, I'm gonna let you go ahead and kick us off with this title here. What is your thought on possibly the Falcons addressing the pass rusher position, especially since?
So, whoa. I'm not letting you go past that. No. Read what you just wrote down there. We're not going to allow you to do that. Read it.
And wait, motherfucker, wait a minute. No, whoa.
Read what you wrote it down. Read it correctly.
Hey, Russell Gage, calm your ass down.
You can't. You don't want to read what you. You don't want to read what you wrote down. You wrote it down. Don't get mad at me.
Look, motherfucker, I'm trying to set it up. Do you feel me?
Go ahead.
Sorry, y'all. Now, before I was rudely interrupted, as I was saying, Miss Maggie T, as far as the Atlanta Falcons and their pursuit of edge rushers, which is a term I hate using.
Why? Why do you?
That's all I wanted to do. I just wanted to see him cringe. For whatever reason, he hates that word edge rush.
Why?
It don't make no sense to me. Bro, I've been calling this shit pass rushers for damn near 34 years.
Oh boy.
But I know as Falcon fans, we haven't really had a consistent pass rusher here since John Abraham, as all of us will agree. What is your thoughts on them possibly pursuing that edge rusher, rather it be early in the rounds or later in the rounds? What's your take on that?
Maybe not in the earlier rounds, but I do see them picking up an edge later on. I mean, honestly, I don't know which direction they're going to go with that. It's hard to tell what they're going to go with that 8th pick, really, to be honest. But I mean, edge is definitely a desperate need. But do you think we still need a wide receiver at this point?
It's strange. I actually do think we need a wide receiver. It's because I think the offense is changing. So I do think we need a wide receiver, but like you've been saying, we gotta stop neglecting. We gotta stop neglecting that position. And whatever reason, I don't know. Hold on. I'll be back, y'all. My internet is acting crazy right now.
But yeah, I think we are in desperate need of a good edge or pass rush, whatever you want me to call it, K-Star.
I mean, you call it whatever you want to call it. It just makes.
We haven't had a decent, person in that position. So it's like, I think if they're going to go all the way in, they might as well go edge. Okay. That's just my opinion.
Is there a particular person that you may have eye on, or you're just going to take the approach of we just going to see where the chips fall?
We're just going to see where the chips fall.
Okay.
And that's where I'm at with it, because it's like last year, I think we probably was targeting somebody else that didn't fall for us, so we went with the next best, in my opinion. So it really just going to be where they fall. And of course, what else they do in the free agency as well to address some additional needs. So we just have to kind of see what they're going to do in the rest of this off season.
Wide receiver. That's
my shit ain't showing y'all what they talking about. Lord.
They try to do the
they actually that's all.
I told you this is not the show for that. I mean, like I said, we
y'all gotta go.
We got after hour shows, boy. Y'all better be putting.
We got after hour shows. Y'all want to see some booze and all that? Y'all gotta play some super chats, all right? But if you don't do that, head over to AFN. Subscribe to that channel so you can see as many ladies as you possibly can. All right, we have the lady birds of AFN. Subscribe to that. You can see Miss Maggie, Whitney, Kai, and Miss Auntie Pam. Everybody, okay? Head over there.
That motherfucker. He was trying to telepathically make it come out.
Nah, look, he trying to make his own P. Diddy perverted.
No, Mike. We are not doing that right now. we
covered up. I think so. Excuse me. If I'm not.
Then she over here ain't making it no better.
Ain't making it no better.
I gotta check myself. I got a reputation over here. AFN OnlyFans. Go ahead, y'all.
Yeah, she doing this for Mike. Yeah, y'all better
Look,
stop.
hey. Look, if y'all want to see Mad Mike Toes, all right, I'm gonna have an OnlyFans, and it's gonna be called Mad Mike Toes, okay? Mad Mike Toes. So y'all toe freaks out there, if y'all want to pay me $9.99 to look at me, babe, wash my feet and baby oil or some what you call that stuff? Shea butter and all that. Look, I'll roll these mugs out for y'all. If y'all want it, let's get it. Y'all want to pay for it? I show these toes. I show. I'm dead serious.
I don't know who the hell just honked that horn, but that shit just came in the nick of time. Like, what was that?
What's going on? What's going on?
Look, we got people out here getting paid for farts, putting farts in jars. I can show my toe for
$9.99. Shut the hell up, Mike. We good on that.
I forgot. Y'all, I've been on it all day. I apologize. I've been on it all day. Look, I'm like a cage. I'm like an animal cage. I can't be in a cage too long. I apologize, y'all. I'm sorry.
Okay. All right. So Jew,
back on schedule.
What you think about what Maggie said as far as addressing the wide receiver? Do you think the wide receiver is a bigger need than edge rusher early in the draft?
No. You guys know why I sit with it. It's just like you got to address the trenches. We got to. Like, I wouldn't be opposed to it because, as I mentioned, Rondale Moore is only on a 1-year deal, from my understanding, because we traded for him. So he's still on his rookie contract. So if they decide to go with best player available and they assume that Roma Dunze or Malik Neighbors or one of those guys fits the scheme better, I'm not, I would still roll with it if that's their plan. My thing is they got to have a plan. But personally, I just feel like the Falcons haven't done a good job of, in the first round, taking the defensive linemen that are there. Jalen Carter, all these different guys that are there. And we see the teams that consistently win, they normally address the trenches. The Eagles always take, it's almost like I said about running back, and you should always take pass rushers, defensive linemen in every draft. In the top 2 rounds, to me, you should always be drafting offensive linemen. You should always be drafting defensive linemen. You should always be drafting running backs, because those are guys going to have to rotate out. And I talked a little bit about that in my video today with Byron Murphy. Grady's not going to play forever. Let's just be real. Jake Matthews is not going to play forever. Like, yeah, we've had the privilege of having these guys, and these guys have pretty much, for the most part, haven't been injured in their career. Knock on wood, Grady Jarrett, this was his first serious injury. So, I mean, at this point, it's like you have to start building in the trenches, because we don't know how long Grady's going to play at that top elite level. So you want to bring in somebody that he can kind of groom, and they can be that next good to great player. So I feel like you should never get comfortable. You should always be looking for that next great player and continue to develop. And that's what the Eagles do. The teams like the Eagles, the teams like the Steelers, they're always drafting linemen, offensive linemen, defensive linemen, and continue to build. And to be honest, it also gives you capital, because think about the Eagles. They got Jordan Davis and they got Jalen Carter. So if it comes down to it, if they need to get rid of one of those guys, that's trade assets. They got the assets where they can move guys, because they have so many pass rushers. That's the reason why they're willing to trade Hassan Reddick. Right now, he's on the trading block, because they got so much depth at that position that it's not like a big deal for them to have to move on from Hassan Reddick, because they're always developing guys. They got the Josh Sweats. They always got 3, 4, 5, 6 guys that they can keep rotating in. So I feel like that's what the Falcons need to adopt, is that same mindset. It don't necessarily have to always be in the first round, but I feel like because the last 3 years you went offense, the last 3 years in the first round, this year I feel like you have to go defense, whether it's corner or whether it's edge. The only way that you can draft an offensive player and I can legitimately sign off on it if it's an offensive lineman. Like if you tell me they're going to go out and get the kid Alt from Notre Dame, if he's still there on the board, and they're like, okay, we're looking at if Jake Matthews calls it a career within the next 2 to 3 years, you got a plug and play guy that can take that position, I'm cool with it. But wide receiver, I'm kind of like, I don't really know, because it's just like, are you going to get the full value out of that player this season? I don't really feel like you will, because you got Drake London, Kyle Pitts, then you got, Rondale Moore, you got Darnell Mooney. So if you bring in Rome Odunze, like, how many targets is he going to get a game? Let's just be real. I really don't think that they're going to be able to be like, we're not going to be able to squeeze that orange and get everything out of it. So I feel like if you're going to do anything, go get you a defensive lineman, because right now, to me, AK, Lorenzo Carter, these guys to me haven't proven that they deserve to be starters. At least I'll say Lorenzo Carter hasn't proven it. AK's been doing his thing, but AK got to get better in the run. I really feel like he was only being used as like a pass rush specialist last year, because sometimes he struggles at setting the edge and doing the smaller things. And I think that's the reason why you had Bud Dupree starting, you had Calais Campbell starting in the rotation, because those guys were better at stopping the run than AK was. And that's something that I think is a weakness where AK got to improve on. If he improves on the setting the edge and stopping the run, I think he'll be fine, but you still got to find that other guy on the other side. So like I said, Verse, Latu, and Turner, those three guys are there on the board. Take one of those guys, because I think that they can start from day one. I think you throw Latu in there, day one, he starts. Verse, he starts day one. Dallas Turner, he starts day one. And they'll start over the Lorenzo Carters and the guys we got, unless Calais comes back, because it's out there that Calais could come back for another season. So if he comes back, then there you go. You set.
All right, Mag, I'm going to let you answer this question right here. Carlos asked, what do you think about the Falcons trading down to the Vikings and getting the 11th and 23rd pick from them?
I mean, I definitely see that we probably will. Honestly, I think we will be kind of trading back. That's just my opinion, because especially depending on what's going to happen with this so-called penalty or whatever is going on, that we possibly losing draft picks. I don't know if they made a decision on it yet, or have they just forgot about it, but we got to prepare for some draft picks being gone at this point. So we're going to have to pick up some extra, so I wouldn't be opposed to it, if that's the case. But of course, I think we still, regardless, are probably going to trade back in the later rounds to get a little bit more, because you can get depth in the later rounds, honestly.
Mm-hmm.
And the lack of positions.
Mm-hmm.
And where that comes down to is now you're in a position where it's not a pressure pick situation. You can get whatever the hell you want without the pressures of the top 10 type of guy. Because damn it, like you said, as far as like getting a wide receiver, I kind of find it redundant, and that's a word I don't use often, because what's the main thing that's going to be a problem? If you got all these wide receivers, what's going to be the main talking point? Why isn't Bijan getting the ball? And I don't want to be hearing that for 17 weeks. I'm telling you, I don't want to hear that. I was tired of hearing it last year. And he got the ball 300 times. I don't want to hear that. So I think wide receiver, I think they may be good. I wouldn't necessarily say something high.
They're not necessarily high. I wasn't even saying it like that, but they do got some good wide receivers in that may fall.
Right. Lad McConkey.
My Conkey! Yeah, boy. I love my Conkey.
All right, let's go ahead and get right into the discussion tonight, y'all, man. We talking pass rushes, we talking defense.
We appreciate Miss Maggie. If you gotta go, I appreciate you for joining us. All right. I know you probably gotta feed Mr. 18 years old with the
he laying down. He good.
Okay. You can stay on if you want to.
She'll be the super chat madness, so y'all just better make sure y'all put them super chats in there, because she's trying to look pretty for y'all. But
yeah.
Look,
she already swayed. Look, she doing all this.
Yeah, we finna hustle you out here. So
he about to miss the dog water in it.
I'm trying to look. I just came on the show. Ain't nobody trying nothing. Y'all ain't getting no lashes. You ain't getting no lip gloss or nothing. You got me. You got natural Maggie.
Whoa. So you telling me we can't get the Caleb Williams lip gloss?
No, Mike. This is not the show for that. Let's not do that now.
I mean, look. Maggie said she's a bad bitch, so I'm just.
I did not say, Mike. See, you putting all these words. Look, y'all.
See. This is that peaches and herbs thing I keep telling y'all about. Was one actual?
I mean, so what is all this, Mike? I'm a bet. I run this shit, Mike. I'm the motherfucking show. I'm the whole show. I run this. Like that wasn't you.
That ain't nothing saying bad bitch though, Mike.
Hey, Jew, just get your popcorn ready because this is funny. Hold on, let me turn this way and look at both of you.
I think he brought me on here so he can fuss at me. That's what it is.
Look, y'all. Look, I'm on. Jew. Yeah. Let's get to it. All right, let's get to it.
This might be you and I.
Y'all, I've been hyper all day. I apologize, but I've really been super hyper all day. I don't know what's going on. I really don't. I don't know if it's the medication or what, but I've been hype all day long, y'all.
But like you said, man, I think probably because you done cussed out a lot of people today on
that's just like a superpower. It's like my healing power. It's
I think you cussing somebody out gives you strength. You kind of like Sam. Y'all got to cuss folks out in order to get your strength up. When you're not cussing folks out, then you're like,
Yeah, you might be right about that. I'm trying so hard, y'all. I really am trying to behave, but
all right. But like I said, man, don't nobody give a damn about you wearing no lashes. We both love you regardless. You know that.
She come on there with She can come on there with any damn thing on a half cut up shirt.
Oh God, here go mucho. Bad
to the bone.
So
all right, man. We're gonna go ahead and get right into this D-line conversation. So we're gonna give you defensive line prospects that y'all may not hear a lot of people talk about, or try to give you a different perspective on that said group. And today we're gonna let Jude run point on this one.
Oh boy, Jude been embarrassing me this week.
Man, he been embarrassing all of us.
Bro, he been going in lately in this content. I got to catch up with you, bro.
All right, Jude. So what you got? Who you want to speak on? Let the people know to take a look at.
So I figured that the people were tired of hearing about the top three guys. You know, Jared Verse. We keep talking about him. We keep talking about Dallas Turner. We keep talking about Latu. So I went and got a gem for you guys, Mr. Darius Robinson out of the University of Missouri. Yeah, he's that guy, 6'5", 290 pounds. You're looking at him right there on the screen, number 6, the captain of the defense for the Missouri Tigers. Yeah, I definitely think that he could be one of those guys that could be a steal in this draft for the Atlanta Falcons, possibly in the maybe 3rd round. He'll probably be there. Maybe in the 2nd round, late 2nd round, he'll still be on the board. But he's one of those guys that nobody's really talking about as one of those gems. So I definitely think that he's one of those guys that, if you talk about power, one of those guys that can stop the run, one of those guys that's like more of a defensive end, as K-Styles talked about, edge rusher. He's one of those guys that's like a pure defensive end, similar to the Zach Harrison that we got on our team now. So if you want somebody that's powerful, doesn't have the hand work, he hasn't went to martial arts school yet. He's not the master when it comes to the hand placements and stuff like that.
Wax on, wax off.
Wax on.
Yeah, he haven't had Mr. Miyagi yet. He haven't went to Mr. Miyagi.
Well, that sounds a lot better than what Dante Fowler brought. He had nothing. That boy was punching with stubs. That's
Darius Robinson is one of them guys, man, that I definitely think that could be like one of those gems for the Falcons. And I think that he could add depth. Like we talked about, when you talk about versatility, which I think you'll need in this 3-4 defense that Jimmy Lake and Raheem Morris runs, because it's like a hybrid defense. The good thing about Darius Robinson, he can play a little bit of 3-tech. He can play out on the edge. He's one of those guys that can do multiple things. And I really look at him as being like a depth piece. So he wouldn't be a starter necessarily, but he'll be a guy on the second unit that can come in, just like we've seen with Zach Harrison. Zach Harrison started getting in the first unit because he was playing so well. I think Darius Robinson, one good thing about him, if Calais Campbell doesn't come back, he is a guy that can slide right into this position and be like a Calais Campbell. Calais Campbell's 6'7", he's 6'6". Calais Campbell's about 300 pounds. He's about 285, 290. So he's just like a younger Calais Campbell. So I don't want to say he's Calais Campbell because Calais is a future Hall of Famer, 100 sacks in his career. But if Calais comes back and he's on this roster, he'll be another player that he can take under his wing because they're similar body type. And, both of those guys are similar in stature and things of that nature. But I definitely think that he could be one of those guys that could be a steal for the Atlanta Falcons if we draft him in the second or third round. And we know that we've had success with, for whatever reason, Missouri Tiger players. I don't know what it is about those Missouri Tiger players, but we remember the Missouri Hammer and William Moore, the safety that came out of Missouri. And then one of my favorite all-time Falcons, Sean Witherspoon. Former Mizzou alum as well at that linebacker position. So I definitely think Darius Robinson could be one of those guys that the Falcons possibly go after that a lot of people is not talking about. I've seen a couple different teams looking at him, and we know the teams that always draft in the trenches, the Eagles, the 49ers, and he's one of those guys that gives me the vibes. And I talked about it before the show. Javon Kinlaw was a guy that everybody wanted the Falcons to take years ago that the 49ers end up drafting. But he's a little bit more athletic, I think, than the Javon Kinlaw. And to me, he plays with a higher motor. If you watch Darius Robinson, the main thing that I noticed that stood out on tape when I first started watching him is his ability to stop the run. And I think that that's really good. And that's something that we were talking about before the show. Out of your defensive linemen, I want my guys to be able to stop the run first, set the edge, and play with that high motor. Mike was talking about this before the show. You can teach guys to pass rush. You can teach guys the handwork and stuff like that. But you can't teach guys that just don't give up on plays. And that, to me, what makes Grady Jarrett a great player is just his motor. He never stops on a play. And that's what you'll see when you watch Darius Robinson's. Like, if you go watch his highlights or watch some film or go rewatch some of his games, to me, he jumped off the screen on every single game. Like, when I was looking at his highlights, one thing that I like to pay attention to is these highlights from one particular game where it was inferior competition, or was this several games? And they show him against Georgia played well, against LSU played well. And to me, that tells me a lot, because we know the SEC, that's usually where the competition, the top competition is. And in every single one of those games, when I was looking at his highlights and things of that nature, he pretty much was like defensive player of the week in the SEC multiple times, getting sacks against those upper echelon type teams like the Georgias, like the Alabamas. And that, to me, means a lot as well, because that means that he's just not getting all of these stats against the inferior opponents, but he's actually doing it against the better teams in the SEC. So I definitely think that he'll be a guy that a lot of people is not talking about. He's not super athletic. Like, when you talk about being super quick, he ran like a 4.9 40. So he's not one of those guys you can be like, man. But when you turn on his film, you don't see him. And that's why I say this really more like he's not a super athlete as far as working out at the combine. He really wasn't a guy that jumped off as far as being a super explosive athlete. But he is one of those guys that's just a football player. If you want to talk about, you turn on his film, you want to see aggression, you want to see somebody that don't give up, guy that's always in the backfield being disruptive. That's Darius Robinson. So you guys, give me your thoughts on Darius Robinson. But to me, I think he's one of those guys that will fit perfectly with this team, because he's one of those dirty work type guys. He's not going to be the superstar. He's going to be the guy that does all the dirty work. So if you want somebody going to do the dirty work, Darius Robinson is that guy.
I'm about to say Maggie had to step off for a second, because I was about to go get this question for her. That's all right. But yeah, I seen a couple games. I seen definitely a couple games. So Jude, my question would be: Is there any player comparison that you would give these folks on his style? I mean, you did say Calais Campbell, but is there any like particular other guy that may be more of a rusher?
To be honest, I say like Calais Campbell or like Zach Harrison that's on our team. He just long, like his body is similar to Zach Harrison and Ogundeji that's on the team. He's a little bit bigger. Ogundeji, I think, is like 270 pounds, 265 pounds. So he outweighs Ogundeji by like about 30 pounds. But I'll say like a Zach Robinson, Calais Campbell, because I seen Jay Diaz say that his biggest problem is his lateral movement, like his lateral quickness. And that's something that he's not the best at. I would say he's not a super athlete. And that's something that you've seen with Calais Campbell. But I think that he makes up for that with how tall and how long his arms are. Because if you guys remember last year, it was a couple times where guys would get the edge. Even I remember in the game against the Bears where Fields scrambled out the pocket and Calais Campbell wasn't going to be able to outrun him to the edge, but he just dove and just like chopped at his feet. And he basically just tackled him back basically just by reaching, and that's just his length. You know what I'm saying? So he'll bat a lot of passes at the line, and just his size is what makes the difference. Because Calais Campbell at this point, he don't have no lateral movement for the most part. If it comes to running the edge, you're gonna beat Calais Campbell 9 times out of 10, but his length is what he makes up for that. And I think it's the same thing with Darius Robinson. He got super long arms, so he'll be able to punch that offensive lineman and kind of keep them off you, as they say, with offensive linemen, so they can't grab and hold you. Those long arms with him punching and being able to extend that arm and keep that outside arm free, so no running back can get to the outside edge. That's what I'm looking for, Darius Robinson. Just play on first and second down, stop the run. I'm not even looking for no pass rush from Darius Robinson if he's on the team like the first year. I don't even care about. I just want you to stop the run. And then we get in third and long situations, either put him on the inside of your defensive line or take him out and put in AK, bring in those burners that come on the outside and, rush the passer. Darius Robinson is going to be a guy that you mainly use just to stop the run. That's it. Stay in your gap. Because if you go look at his tape, he was two gapping a lot of times, meaning he was just staying in a gap. He was not really explosive as far as you're not going to have him spying on the quarterback. You're not going to have him doing none of that. He's going to be a role player. That's it.
I like that. I was about to say, everybody put some fire in the chat for Jude. Like I said, so y'all definitely need to go ahead. If y'all haven't checked out Darius Robinson, y'all definitely might need to take a look at him. Like he said, it's very interesting. I think they said he was graded to second, third round.
Yeah. Just
based on the measurables and the production that he's had. So I can agree with you on that. All right. Mike,
yes, sir.
You're next.
All aboard. All right, let's go. Well, mine's gonna be a little bit different. I want to take the K-Styles approach to things, and I want to talk about a guy from not necessarily as far as the football side of things, not a Duke fan, but I'm a Duke basketball fan. I just want to make that clear. Okay, just want to make that clear. I'm a Duke basketball fan. I'm not a Duke football fan. But I chose this guy because one of the things that the Falcons, when you look at this team, I think we have plenty of edge rushers. And the thing is, with this guy, in a 3-4, I think he epitomizes exactly what you want in a defensive end. A guy that doesn't necessarily, he isn't necessarily a guy that like he's gonna blow you out of water with his athleticism, as far as his quickness, spin moves and things. He's just not gonna stand out in that state. And this is Dwayne Carter. All right. No, I'm not talking about Weezy baby. No, I'm talking about Dwayne Carter. All right. It's not Dwayne
baby. Weezy
no, we're not talking about that.
Please say the baby.
But Dwayne Carter, for me, if you look at his game and the best part about his game, he reminds me of a Taquan Graham. He plays with leverage. He plays with his hands. And for a guy that playing in a 3-4, the Falcons are going to play. They're going to have a multi defense. They're going to play 3-4. They're going to play 4-3. All right, they're going to be all over the place. And using this guy, he has the ability to play inside and outside. But the thing that stood out to me with Dwayne Carter uh, is he's very aggressive. He's extreme. He plays angry. When he has a one-on-one with the guy, he's very angry. Like he plays and he doesn't quit. We like guys. I like guys that has a high motor, and he's one of those defensive ends. When you see when you see him again, he's not going to jump out. But for whatever reason, this guy is always in the middle of everything. You gotta have these high motor guys like Lakel London. He reminds me of a guy like him. High motor. He doesn't stand. He doesn't stand out as far as his physical stature. He goes about 6'2", 300 pounds. A perfect guy for a bookend. And like I said, he's built like a guy like Taquan Graham. All right, Taquan Graham is another one of those guys. Like he's not very big, but he's perfect for that book end. You can play him inside as a 3 tech. And his closing, like once he gets to a quarterback, he hits him. He once he get to the quarterback, he hits him and he makes him feel him. And I think that's the thing with him. You look at where his draft grade is. His draft grade is a 3rd round. So I think you put him next to a Grady Jarrett, a David Onyemata, and let him learn and teach him a few pass rush moves. Because one thing about pass rush, you can always teach guys pass rushes, but one of the things in the NFL is that is always a plus. Is guys good against the run. Anytime you have a defensive lineman that's good against the run, he already has the base foundation. That like you're not going to see too many guys in the NFL that have both. They're very good at the pass and run, right? But this guy's very good at run defense, and the thing too, he's a natural leader, right? He's a natural leader. This guy's called Mr. Duke, and he has been a captain on this team for 3 years in a row. So his teammates love him. He's a guy. Leads by example, and like I said, once you get voted 3 times as Mr. Duke, as the captain, that says a lot. I don't know too many teams. I don't know too many players that are voted captain in their sophomore year. That speaks volumes right there. That speaks volumes. So for me, man, I love a guy that you can get him out of the dirt, so to speak, turn him into something. And I think he's one of those guys in 3rd, 4th round, possibly 5th round, like a Grady Jarrett. People don't remember, man. Grady Jarrett is a 5th round pick. We got him in the 5th round. So a lot of these guys, man, like you just give them a chance, give them opportunity. You teach them how to become a pass rusher. You teach them some move. Go to the Chuck Smith school, witchcraft and wizardry. This dude could be a very good. This dude could be a very good pro. And I think at the end of the day, I don't think me personally, as far as the defense is concerned, the defensive line, especially defensive tackles, man, it's like I think you can create a solid pro. And the Falcons have David Onyemata, Grady Jarrett, Calais Campbell perhaps might be coming back, and he's one of those guys that could be in the rotation. So I'm looking for a rotational guy, and Dwayne Carter, no Wheezy, all right, is my guy that I'm looking at. Okay, Sal, yeah, you're muted, sir. And we don't want no problems. I don't know what's going on. I can't hear nothing you saying, bro.
I know. That's why I did it like that. That's why I did it like that. But your comparison to him.
How about I just mute you like right now? Like what?
I'm about to say, you do whatever the hell you want to. You can mute me. I can boot you off this thing. How about that? But nah, y'all, for real though, like you said, you got Taquan Graham. That's a very good comparison as well. Put some fire in the chat for Mike. That's very y'all getting some very
Hey, put some meme mugs. I don't want no fire. I want meme mugs. Put some angry emojis. Yeah, put some angry emojis in there. I want we got something. Yeah, so I want to be angry and mad today, bro. I'm just so hyped today. I have no clue. I'm like a crack addict. I just got to have my next fix.
So you just waiting to just cut somebody out. That's what.
I'm ready. I'm ready.
All right. All right. So I got a tough act to follow. Like Mike said, he took the K Styles approach. How about I take the K Styles approach times 2?
Wow.
Now, I had to stick with the ACC on this one as well.
Oh,
just like Mike. But I'm gonna take it a little bit of a unknown side of the game. Now, my boy here, Leonard Taylor, 6'4", 307. Now, if we know down at the University of Miami, they run a base 3-4, and usually he doesn't really have a particular position that he plays. It's just based on the situation. So he plays 3 tech. He's inside. He's a bookend. He actually has one of the quickest first steps that I've seen on tape from most of these defensive linemen in this draft. And the thing about it is, once he get that first step on you, he's getting past you. Like, this dude is what I call, he is the prototypical project player with a lot of upside. I'm going to give y'all a particular game that y'all might need to check him out in. It was the game against Clemson this year. It was 2 games. Clemson and Georgia Tech. This of course, as y'all already know, this is why I seen him. But his one major flaw in his game, this is why I say that this is where Raheem Morris and Jimmy Lake and, like I said, this kind of coaching staff would do wonders for him, is he needs a move. He doesn't really have a move. He's a quick first step swim guy. Like I said, he does, but the thing about it is like, and he already got his hands on your damn quarterback before you even think about it. But but the thing about it is,
that sounds like Robert Mathis to me.
But the thing about Robert Mathis got some moves, though. Like I said, Leonard Taylor ain't got no moves like that. But like I said, the thing is, he got that Grady Jarrett first step. That's the one thing I like about him. He got that Grady Jarrett first step. Now, remember, when Grady first came in as a Falcon, he had that first step, but he didn't have the necessary moves to like really be consistent. He didn't get it until about year 3. Well, no, actually year 2, the Super Bowl. That's when he got it.
He had a lot of guys there too, and that's something G was talking about having veteran guys that can, because he had guys like what was the defensive tackle we got from Baltimore? He played with Baltimore, and we signed him Upshaw, Courtney Upshaw. Like, he had guys like him to help him, fine tune his game, and I think that's another thing why I like a guy like David Onyemata and Grady that can teach guys like him those moves.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. But like I said, and that's really like the downside of it is, like I said, he's not polished. Because like I said, he's really like a pass rusher. He's like a pass rusher. He's a 3 tech. That's what he is. He's a big ass 3. He's a big ass 3 tech. But once the technical flaws get coached up, you got one hell of a player here. And the last time I said this was Zach Harrison, the year before he got drafted, when I thought he was going to get drafted in 2022.
Yeah.
He ended up getting drafted by us in 2023.
Which is crazy because the other guy we wanted. That's why we try not to use his said name, because the last time we liked the defensive line, then Buffalo stole both of ours.
Buffalo can kick rock. Buffalo Bills can kick rocks. If y'all don't remember why we say that, it's because the Buffalo Bills picked Mike's favorite pass rusher in the 2021 draft and my favorite pass rusher in the same damn draft.
The same draft now.
The same draft. But definitely give him kind of like a fourth. Like I said, he's projected as far as 4th round, maybe. They may double dip in the 3rd round with 2 of these 3 guys right here. Hey, long damn no. But definitely from this conversation you're having with all of us, go ahead, Mike.
I just thought about something. It like a guy like. See, the thing is too, with a guy like him is oh gosh, my bad. But a guy like that too, it reminds me of Chris Jones, like, because Chris Jones, he doesn't necessarily have a lot of great moves, but he's very quick off the snap, and he uses his hands well. Wow. So you don't have to have all these, great spin moves and all that, but like you can be effective at what you do, using strips, using your ability to get off the ball. And I think that's what Chris Jones, like, he does well, and why he's getting paid the big bucks.
Right. Because like you said, but because like you said, just based on these 3 guys that we're giving y'all, they still have to address the heir apparent for Grady Jarrett. David Onyemata is getting up there too. So really, outside of really Zach Harrison, as far as the 3-4 defense, as far as the defensive line, you don't really have a lot of depth there. Like I said, we got plenty of pads. We got plenty of edge rushers, since y'all want to call it. Y'all got plenty. We got about 4-5 of them on the team right now. I mean, Jude, what do you always say? Can never have enough edge rushers, right?
Yeah.
You draft them every year. That's what I would say. Every year you draft an edge rusher. If it's up to me, running backs you draft every year, pass rushers you draft every year. And like you were stating, if we even bring back like a Bud Dupree or a Calais Campbell, those guys they were on 1-year deals, and those guys are kind of up there in age. So if you bring back a Bud, he'd probably be like on a 2-year deal, because I think he's like 30, 31. But Calais, he's like 37 or something like that. So he literally taking it year by year. So at some point you're gonna have to steal, and that's the reason they drafted Zach Harrison. But I say every year you still draft. Like, I'm double dipping in this draft. I'm taking a Dallas Turner, and then I'm going after a couple of these guys we mentioned, because I think the one that Mike talked about, Dwayne Carter, he's mainly like a 3 tech or like a nose tackle. So I think we still need to take like 2 guys that can play like defensive end or, play on the outside. Because I think we're pretty deep when it comes to Grady, Onyemata on the inside. Tay-Crime Graham, for the most part, plays inside. So you really don't have those guys outside of, if you're going to use like guys like Caden Ellis on the outside, you really don't have anybody outside of Lorenzo Carter, AK, and who else we got? I know Ogundeji's still out there, but I don't know if he makes this roster or how they feel about him, because he hasn't really done anything. I know he's on a rookie deal, but I would make him compete to even make the 53-man roster. So I would draft somebody that he got to compete with.
I mean, yeah, it's a lot of holes. Yeah, it's a lot of holes right there at that edge rush position. And like I said, not necessarily saying that they don't address it first. I mean, like I said, I would rather them do that.
Yeah.
And really go offense, like you said, unless it's a defense or offensive lineman.
Yeah, if it's not an offensive lineman, I don't want to see no. I like the Brock Bowers and the but I just feel like at some point, like you said, it's redundant. If we do that, we're doing what we did with Thomas Dimitrov when we drafted Calvin Ridley, and you drafting, like strengthening a strength. Like at the time we drafted Calvin Ridley, you had Julio, you had Muhammad Sanu. So it just made him kind of the third wheel. Then we went out and got Russell Gage. So we just had like guys on top of guys on top of guys as far as that same position. It got redundant. And that's why I think a lot of the draft experts are expecting the Falcons to take a wide receiver, because that's been like our mojo. That's what we do. Every year, it's like we wide receiver you. Every time it comes up for a first round pick, it's like, okay, the Falcons are going to somehow, some way, trick themselves into or overthink it and end up taking a wide receiver, no matter how deep we at that position.
Yeah, it's true. Everything all right over there, Mike?
Oh yeah, I'm just handling some heavy hitters business right now. I'm still here, yo.
Okay. So go ahead, handle heavy hitters business. But yeah, so we're gonna go ahead and get about 10 more minutes of the show, and like I said, we'll definitely let y'all go ahead and ask some questions and stuff like that. I know we haven't really been in a lot of the comments tonight. Just wanted to go ahead and get these talking points out the way, so we definitely go ahead and Q&A it up here for the last 10 minutes. Y'all go ahead and throw your questions in there. But while we're doing that, y'all make sure y'all go ahead and hit that like, share, subscribe button to the Heavy Hitters Live,
baby, live. We appreciate y'all, man.
As well as Jew Talk Sports for the daily Falcons news update, as well as what's the word, Dirty Bird.
I don't like being shown out, and Jew been showing out lately with these videos, but he been knocking them down, boy.
Hey, like I said, that's the minister, man. That's what I said. You got to remember, that's what he's supposed to do.
That's what he does. He lives up to it.
We trying to get him to 3K over here, man.
Oh yeah, yes, absolutely.
I got like for both of y'all too while we talking about it. Cause I seen Brian Peoples put it in there. I keep forgetting about him. He put Malone. Yeah, D'Angelo Malone.
Oh yeah, that's another one. Yeah,
D'Angelo Malone, because I thought that he was going to be one of those guys that could be an edge player or used as an outside linebacker. And the last regime just used him mainly as just like a special teams player. So what do y'all think? Did he get on the bad side of, or did he just not fit in what Ryan Nielsen was doing? I know we were deep life in that position, but I wanted to see him get more opportunities, because I feel like he kind of gives me the vibes of like a Leonard Floyd, like a guy that can close really fast. He's not the biggest guy, like as far as great at stopping the run, but to me, he's one of those guys that can close. Like if you're just looking for somebody on third and long, that okay, if you got a guy like Kyler Murray running around, D'Angelo Malone is one of those faster, more athletic type of edges. So what you guys think about D'Angelo Malone? Like he get on their bad side? Because I always forget about him because they didn't use him really.
You know what? I don't know. I mean, like you said, my hopes are definitely still high on him, regardless of him not really getting as much of the playing time as we thought he was gonna get. He could have possibly got on the bad side of Ryan Nelson, because you have to remember too, Ryan Nelson was relying on those veterans a lot more,
right?
As a defensive coordinator than the year before, where he got drafted.
Right.
So it's just one of those cases where the experience of a lot of the guys we had in the front seven trumped the opportunity for D'Angelo Malone. But like I said, right now, like when you got Jimmy Lake and Raheem Morris, This is a perfect opportunity for him to show that he is that guy we thought he was when they picked him in the 3rd round.
Right. I definitely think he has some upside. I mean, he had a lot of talent. Like in college, coming out of Western Kentucky, he was one of those guys. When I look at his film, it was like, okay, he could do some things. Coming off the edge, he got that explosiveness. He can close on the quarterback really quick. Like I said, he's not the biggest guy, but you don't have to be super, if you're athletic, that can kind of trump being super strong and stuff like that. If you can bend the edge. And he seemed like he was one of those guys. And I think in this particular scheme, as you was mentioning, Kay, like with Jimmy Lake, because he likes to use a lot of pressure, like zone blitzes and stuff like that. I feel like even if you got to stand him up and just move him around, I think that he can use his athleticism. That's why I really think, like you were saying, if we don't go heavy in the draft in the trenches, even though I think we should, I really feel like our linebackers, like the Landmans, I feel like we're going to see a lot more blitzes from the corners and linebackers in general.
Oh, yes.
Linebackers on this team. So that'll kind of take away from having to have a bunch of edge rushers, as we keep calling them, or outside linebackers. If you're going to use your linebackers, and that's something that the Steelers, if you guys go back and look at the Steelers, the Lamar Woodleys, the James Ferriers, the guys that they have in their 3-4 sets, they really would use their linebackers to blitz. You know what I'm saying? A whole lot. So maybe that's what we'll see with this Falcons team. Is like they're gonna say Caden Ellis and these guys, they gonna get a lot of the sacks. Gonna be the guys coming, and we just gonna build a fortified front, which that means we're gonna get a bunch of 300-pounders. Middle, and let them just plug up the run.
Hey,
yes.
Hey, you give me a 360-pound mountain in the middle. The linebacker's gonna be eating all day.
Yeah. And that could be what they're trying to do. I went and looked at the Rams a little bit there depth chart from last year, and it looked like that's kind of what they did last year. Like I looked at their defensive tackles. They only had like one defensive tackle that was like 340 pounds. They had a dude, Bobby Brown, that was drafted by the Cowboys, I think. And he was on their team. He's like, I know, right? Bobby Brown.
I'm sorry.
Yeah, man. So,
you was thinking what I was thinking. I was going there. You just got there faster than I did.
Yeah, he's like 6'4", 325 pounds. So I really think they said that in the chat. Like we need another like really big guy, like a Mike Pennell, and that's why I really think everybody keeps saying Devondre Sweat. He's like the guy that every single team I've been looking at on YouTube, everybody want Devondre Sweat. So I'm like, hey, if we can get him 300 pounds, 360 pounds, something crazy like that, hey, I'll take it. Because all we just need him to do is just plug up everything and let them other guys eat. They'll eat off of that. And I really feel like that's really what the Falcons had last year. If you think about it, like Grady, if you look at his numbers prior to him getting injured, he really didn't have a lot of sacks and stuff like that. Him and Onyemata were doing a lot of the dirty work, just stopping the run. And then if you look at a lot of the sacks that we got, it was just guys just staying in their lanes, like Calais Campbell and stuff like that. We didn't really have nobody that was like real explosive off the edge. Everybody was just like stopping the run on 1st and 2nd down, then 3rd and long, just collapse the pocket, and then somebody gonna break through.
Hey, there you go. Yeah, because like I said, I'm looking at a lot. It's not really a lot of 340 pounders in this damn draft. And I think based on the style of play it is nowadays anyway, like you said, you're not going to really – it's going to be rare that you're going to see a bunch of 360-pound defensive linemen come out, especially high like that. Because they're going to be one of the guys to be able to play all three situations. Right. I ain't going to say all three downs, but all three situations.
Oh, yeah.
But I'll tell you, but if Devondre Sweat is right there, if he's either the 2nd round or 3rd round, I'll jump on that. Manscaped, that didn't sound right.
No, I think
pause.
No diddy. That's new. I mean, that's what the kids are saying.
No. Don't say that, because the dude that actually did it, he actually put You know the dude that came up with the concept of that actually the trademarked it already.
Trademarked it already. Good God.
But
I like to be honest, man. I think the Falcons are in a good situation. Because we got our linebackers. We got two linebackers in Caden Ellis and Troy Anderson. Those guys are very good at blitzing and using their speed. So it's like, if anything, to get back to Drew's question about D'Angelo Malone, I think he fits perfectly for what the Falcons are doing now because he doesn't have to worry about being, you know, working too much on his pass rush move. Like they're going to put him in a position where he can just simply blitz, and that's what you want in a zone blitz type of team, a pressure team, a pressure scheme. And I think you get those guys that can hold the run, defend the run. You can until you get a Grady Jarrett healthy and figure out what he is, or Calais Campbell. Um, I think people are really underestimating Caden Ellis. I think people are really not focusing on how good he's been as a pressure guy. He's very good at pressures.
I mean that's essentially what he was down in New Orleans anyway.
New Orleans, right?
He was a pass rusher, but
Yes,
like you said, because he knew Ryan Nielsen and they kind of already had an idea of what that defense was going to be about. That's why he had the green dot.
absolutely.
But Vincent Moore here, I know this question's been sitting up here for a while, so we're gonna go ahead and get into it. So what do y'all think about the new kickoff rules? And I don't want to get too deep into that because the ladies are going to be talking about the new kickoff rule
Right.
tomorrow as well. So we give us a little brief on what y'all think about the AKA the XFL kickoff rule they trying to implement. This ain't new.
Yeah. Like I said, I like it, man. Um, I'm all good for change. Like they were terrified of and have been terrified for the last 10 years, the past 10 years, about the injuries of on special teams. A lot of guys were getting sued. The NFL was getting sued by that. So it's like I like where it's going. It's a good idea. We're no longer going to see just the kicker kick the ball out of the end zone, for the most part. Then we go be able to see these guys return it. Like that's what makes the game exciting, to be able to see these guys return it. It's almost like a punt. So like we're gonna see a lot more punt return. The kick return is not going to be the kick return as we know it is pretty much gone. So it's going to be punt returning now. So like I said, for me, I love it.
Mm. Yeah, and I think also too is like you said, just having that opportunity to actually go into a time where, like you said, the ability to return kicks being a factor, a consistent factor in football games is like a very good proposition. I know it just looks weird for folks because, like you said, the thing is, we watched the XFL, we watched the USFL during the off season too. So so this is nothing new to me,
right?
Because if y'all know about those type of rules, is the way that they have to do it is. I want to see how the NFL is looking into doing that, but the way that they did it in the XFL and USFL, if the kickoff specialist, aka the kicker, kicks the ball into the end zone, it's basically an illegal procedure play. So it has to be within bounds. I don't know if the NFL is going to go that far. I have to read into it, but
yeah, I mean, I think it's a good rule because of the injuries. Like you said, when you have guys that's flying down the field full speed at somebody, I think that they were seeing too many injuries. That's why they got rid of like the 2 and 3 man wedge blocks and stuff like that, because too many guys were getting injured. But I think that we're going to see a lot of returns that's going to flip the field for the offensive team, because I don't know if I like the two lines the way that they're doing it. Because I feel like once you get past that first wave of guys, it's over. Like if you got somebody like a Cordell Patterson or even Ray McLeod on our team, if you got somebody that really understands, like, okay, when my guy blocks, it's gonna be a gap, and after that, it's nobody left. And I'm real, real careful with that. Even when you like trying to bring all of your guys like out of the secondary, like against the run, when you load the box almost like in a goal line fashion, you got to kind of be careful with that, because it's a reason to have a safety. If somebody, once that guy gets past the first wave of guys, if you got somebody that got some speed, and that understands gaps and stuff like that, and then, lane integrity, I really think that they're going to be able to, we're going to see a lot of big returns if you got a guy that's really good at returning, because it's just like two long lines. And if somebody actually hits a perfect block and you hit that first wave, if you got speed, I think we're going to finally start seeing more kickoff returns for touchdowns, like in the special team side of it. So I think it's good for the game as far as the safety, though, because they were seeing too many bad injuries where they were like, okay, we got to change it because of the lawsuits and stuff like that with the league. We know about the concussions and them trying to make the game safer. And I'd rather them do this than eliminate special teams altogether, because then at that point, guys are going to lose jobs, because you got some guys like
exactly
that's
the main thing.
Yeah, that's what they do. The guy with the Patriots, that dude Slater, he basically all he did was he was a special teams, like a specialist. That's all he pretty much did. So if you eliminate that, that means no more kickers. So they ain't gonna get no money. And then those guys that like are true gunners and stuff like that, they're just really fast and good at going down and making tackles and stuff like that. You eliminate those jobs pretty much if you eliminate the kickoff returns and stuff like that. So
right. All right, Mike, I'm gonna let you go ahead, and this is gonna be the last question for the night. That says Xavier Littman. He said been recently seeing mock drafts that has traded back from 8 to 11, and then trading back up into the first round. Who do y'all see being available in this scenario?
Mox trading back from 18 to 11, trading back into the first round. Well, I don't. Well, see, I'm trying to be honest as I possibly can with this situation. I just don't see a situation where this happens, because you got to take into account the Falcons have $2 million. They have about $2-3 million in salary cap. So trading back into the first round, that means you're gonna have to pay these guys. All right,
more money.
You got to pay more money for these guys. So like if the Falcons end up trading back, it's going to be a lot. They'll trade back, but a lot of those picks are going to come in 25 and 26. They're not going to trade for picks that's, the very next year, unless these guys, the guy that you bring in is going to be 1 year, it's going to be 1 year contracts. They're going to be one and done for the most part. That's the only way I see that's happening. And right now, it looks as though this is exactly what's going to happen with the Falcons. We're going to bring in a guy like Calais, probably bring in Bud Dupree, those guys for 1 year deals. And I think that they're fine with that. That's just the way the NFL. But as far as them trading back into the first round, if that happens, you can kiss a guy like AJ Terrell going. Most likely, they're going to be moving on from Grady Jarrett, because he's going to be making $15-16 million for the next couple of years with his contract. Then you got to think about also a guy like Jake Matthews. So if that happens, the only guy that I see that is worth it in that particular instance is a guy like Jared Verse or Dallas Turner, because those guys have the athleticism to be difference makers in certain in games. If Falcons need a difference maker, that's going to be an athletically gifted defensive guy, and that's what they need. On top of that, the only way that you trade back into it, or you trade back like that, is you have an eye on an offensive lineman or something like that. And I would go with a guy like Joe Alt. I don't think he'll fall that far back as far as the tip, but you never know. But those are two guys that I see. It's Alt and maybe a Dallas Turner or verse. Those are the only guys that I see at that particular moment that you um, trade down to get a few more picks because again, trading back into the first round, you got to give up. You got to pay these guys. You got to pay them.
Right. And kind of going off of that scenario right there, like you said, it's just going to depend on what they do. Like you said, you ain't got no damn money. The moves that you thought that a lot of the fans thought they was going to make as far as to save money, they ended up not making those moves, i.e. Taylor Heineke. But even going from the Raheem Morris presser, it's not even a guarantee that Heineke is going to be on this team. Like you said, you also got to think about you hit the nail on the head. Grady, what you gonna do with him? Is he in the future plans? AJ Terrell, like you said, this is a contract year for him. So it's all just gonna depend on what on how they're gonna get some money.
Yeah, I think restructure. Yeah, I think eventually they're gonna do something to try to create more space. I don't know if they'll do what we've seen because I seen like Torrey McElhaney they had talked about us doing that, like moving back and then getting Jared Verse and Quinyon Mitchell, like with the 23rd pick or something like that. That was a little mock draft that they did, and I don't know if that will happen because they had us trading with Minnesota, and I don't think that Minnesota's trying to trade with us right about now. After that whole Kirk Cousins situation, was they mentioned that in the little article that they wrote. I read the article. And I thought it would be interesting if you can come away with Jared Verse and Quinyon Mitchell, because those are two guys that possibly could be starters for the defensive side of the ball. But I don't necessarily think that we'll have to do that because I feel like some of these players that we think are going to be first rounders, I don't think are going to be first rounders based off of how the draft is going to fall. I really feel like a lot of these quarterbacks are going to go, boom, 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 right behind each other. And because of so many, quarterback needy teams, that's going to push some of these guys that should be first rounders, like on the defensive side of the ball, second rounders. And we got a second round pick and 2 third-round picks, I believe. So we still will be all right. I think either way it goes, we'll be all right. Whether we trade back up or whether we just use that pick at 8, I wouldn't even trade back. I would just take whoever's there at 8 and then just roll with the second round pick and the 2 third-round picks because guys are going to fall. Now, we need to trade up in the second round. That's different. But in the first round, as Mike was saying, we could possibly do it, but it's going to have to be some restructuring going on. So I really feel like just stay where you are, get the best player available. If you want a defensive player, get that defensive player, and then just have it lined up. Because trust me, our scouts have done their homework where in the second round, there's going to still be some really good players because I say this year in and year out, teams don't know how to draft. We see teams every year drafting players way too early that shouldn't be getting drafted, and guys that are way later in the draft, like a Clark Phillips, who shouldn't have never failed to us, where he did, but because of his size and stuff like that, teams just, for whatever reason, didn't know how to draft. I think we got him, in the 4th round? What was Clark Phillips? I think he was
4th round.
Yeah, and he was one of them guys that should at least have been a 2nd round pick. So, but again, that's how it usually, how it happens.
Right. So I'm about to say we're about to go ahead and wind it down for the night, y'all. Like I said, if we haven't got to your questions, we apologize. But definitely.
Let me say something to Drake Murphy, okay? Like my thing is, Drake, I hear you, brother. I remember you here, but I like to just be honest. Like I don't like to mislead fans and say something that's just not in my DNA. If the Falcons, we got to be real. The money is what makes the NFL go. You have the money, you have the opportunity to get, the trade back into it. But just because you got the pick and you have multiple picks in the first round, you still got to pay these guys. That's this is what we forget. You still have to make room for these guys. These guys are not free. They're not playing for chump change. You feel me? Like that's the thing. Kyle Pitts is getting paid $32 million as a first round pick. Most guys don't even get that in their whole career. So, like I said, I got you, bro. Like, trust me, I got you. But like I said, for me, I like to be just honest and not just it'll be cool if the Falcons had 2 first round picks. I would not dislike it. I do not dislike the idea of having 2 first round picks because you get you get the special guys in there. You know what I'm saying? But realistically, the Falcons cannot afford even the first round pick as of now because they only have about $3 million in the South. They can't even afford the first. As of right now, they can't afford to have a first round pick.
See, if they don't do anything, if they don't do any restructures or stuff like that, let's just say if they stay pat with what they have and they don't do any restructures or trades or cuts, anything like that, the Falcons essentially will have to trade out of the first round and possibly the second round just to afford their draft. But like you said, this is one of also the reasons why where a lot of people is talking about this Hassan Reddick trade scenario doesn't make sense for the Falcons right now.
Yeah, it doesn't make sense right now. So, like I said, I'm speaking in general using your comment. All right, let's get this. Slow down, people. Get out of your feelings and your emotions. We had a question. What do we think about if the Falcons trade back into the first round? What we're saying is chances are that's never going to happen. So don't get your hopes up. That's not going to happen based on what the salary cap is. So this is why I'm saying this. Falcons can't. They right now with $3 million, they can't afford anything in the first round. So chances are with that particular pick, they're gonna have to trade that pick away into the future. So you can, you can. What the Falcons can do as of right now, if they don't restructure, that's what K-Style said. It's like if they wanted to do anything, they would have to restructure someone, or somebody has to go. You know what I'm saying? They have to go. AJ Terrell, a Grady Jarrett, because you have to pay, and most likely, if especially for a team. If you're looking at for a team standpoint, I love Grady Jarrett, but he's coming back from a torn ACL. There's chances are that he be the same guy. I think he'll be the same guy, but there's also chances that he won't be. So you got to prepare yourself for it. So, would you have a aging Grady Jarrett who's coming off a torn ACL, or a young stud that's fresh, his knees are fresh, he had very, limited injuries? That's like, from a business standpoint, a franchise gonna go with the young stud every time. They don't want to have to pay these. They don't want to have to pay these older guys. Even like I said, we saw it with Matt Ryan. They didn't want to have to pay Matt Ryan $45 million. It ate them up to do it, but chances are you're gonna go with the future. So it's like I said, it wasn't a shot at anybody. Like I said, our job is just to be honest with people and give you real scenarios. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people don't give you real scenarios. They just want to, it's cool if the Falcons have 3 first round picks. Yeah, that'd be cool, but you still got to pay these guys.
Well, if you had a budget of like 40 or something, 50 something $million going into the draft,
right.
leading to the draft, that's another thing. But
just wanted to clear that up. I like I said, it wasn't directed at you. It was just we got to clear a lot of misconceptions, because we seeing all these mock drafts and the Falcons traded back into the first round and they got 2 picks and they.
I'm looking like,
what money? It don't make sense.
What money? we going right back into the same shit that we've been talking about 3 years ago.
Right.
What money?
Right. We got no money. Ain't got no money.
But yeah, like I said, talk about Felipe Frank. Hometown Atlanta Falcons been talking about getting rid of Felipe Franks for about 5-10 minutes, so I had to go ahead and just put it
right.
But
I'm gonna get that to Jude, the one he talking about. Judd brought up Matt Ryan at his retirement. I'm gonna let you have that one. I don't want to touch that.
This is gonna be the. You want to touch on it, Jude? Or you want to save it for later?
I'll touch on it real quick. I mean, I think it's the inevitable is what we would say. Like Matt Ryan is done, man. That dude, he's calling it a career, and I don't blame him. Once you haven't taken those hits, like he enjoyed being in the booth, man. I don't think nobody like getting hit by 300 pounders. When you're almost 40 years old, I think he's feeling all right up there in a blazer with a mic in his hand, and I don't blame him. At the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? He said, I'm done. Like he doesn't desire to play anymore. And I don't know if you guys got to check out Aaron Donald's little, he kind of had like a little sit down where he talked about his retirement. And I watched a little clip of it and it made sense because he basically said he didn't have any desire to play football anymore. So to me, it takes a real man, a real person that really loves the game, respects the game, to say, I'm going to turn down millions of dollars. Even though I know that I can do it, I don't have the desire to do it anymore at a high level. That takes a real person, because you have a lot of these athletes out here that because they know that they're never going to make this type of money again, as far as the millions, millions of dollars like that, they'll just sit there and kind of loaf and get all of that money. So I had a lot of respect for
Wow.
Yeah,
you gonna bring up who? You gonna bring up who like that?
Yeah, so
how dare you?
Done, yeah, Matt's done, but he's a Hall of Famer, man. He's going in the Hall of Fame. Greatest Atlanta Falcon quarterback, greatest Atlanta Falcon, arguably of all time. So shouts out to Matt Ryan. At this point, he's a family man and he's calling a game. He's in a different. He's still around the game, but he's just calling the game. And I bet you it's a lot less stressful of like his time watching film and dealing with your teammates and dealing with the coaches and being in the building, the first one in, the last one to leave. Like, you guys got to think about it. He got a life too, and his sons are growing up. They're getting older.
Yes,
twins are getting older, and he want to be able to. They might be football players. Who knows? Or they might have their stuff going on as a father myself, and we all know on here. K-Styles a father. Kids and having a wife and a family, that takes a lot of time. So sacrifice. Now his wife is like, all right, we sacrificed. Now it's your turn to
Sarah love it every minute of this right now.
every minute of it.
She love it every minute of this.
So we selfish as fans, you know what I'm saying? We selfish. I love seeing Matt Ryan play, but at the end of the day, I respect he got a family.
But we're gonna go. But we're going to go ahead and wind it down tonight, fellas. We wind it down, people. We definitely appreciate y'all coming in. Definitely make sure you go ahead and go to Eventbrite and get your tickets for the Red and Black events.
Red and Black event, yes.
And like you said, y'all make sure you keep on supporting not only the heavy hitters, but Atlanta Falcon Nation, as well as the whole conglomerate in its totality. So, till next time, people. We ain't here to play.
Oh, no.
We here to stay.
Oh, yeah. Dig it.
You ain't got to go home.
But you got to get the heck up out of here. And yeah, I did not curse.
I did all the cursing for him, so y'all good.
See?
And remember, final words from K-Styles. You rather be the villain than be the fool. Because why? People fear the villain. People laugh at the fool. What route are you willing to take? Deuces.